This is ALMD, and we are back with another video. Me and MD are both here.
Yep, we're both here, and we just watched the episode 11 of the Clone Wars and the Siege of Mandalore story arc, and man, what an episode. We're extremely excited to talk about it right now.
All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to talk spoiler-free stuff first, just our general reaction to the episode, and then we'll announce when the spoilers are going to come out because we're definitely going to be talking about what goes on through the episode, what really got our attention, what made us really excited. All right, so let's get right into it. So,
Mm,
what were your thoughts?
I mean, it was it was pretty exciting. I don't think it was as good as the last episode, but I mean, how could you really compete with the last episode with how exciting the fight between Ahsoka and Maul was and the buildup that it had? But this one definitely had a lot of excitement and tension, and of course, we know it related to Revenge of the Sith, which for the real fans was very exciting.
Yeah, especially with the whole fight scene between Darth Maul and Ahsoka. As we both know, Ray Park actually came back, reprised his role as Darth Maul, and they did a live action fight scene. That's why the animation looks so smooth in that fight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of hard to compare the two and put the Siege of Mandalore episodes up on a list from best to worst because really, they're all just really good.
Yeah, they're all fantastic. And this one, I mean, you can't, like you said, you can't really put them on a pedestal. But this one, it's a little slower than the last one, but it gives a lot more detail as to what is going on in terms of, I guess you could say, all the Jedi and the clones. It gives us more detail, Rex and Ahsoka's point of view, and then even Maul's point of view.
Hmm.
We get to see a lot of those details that are in this episode that we didn't really know before.
Yeah, and watching the Siege of Mandalore, you guys know that episode 3 takes place at the same time as the Siege of Mandalore, but this episode really gets involved with the storyline of episode 3, as they even go to put voice clips from episode 3 into this episode multiple times. And it's really just a cool callback to see. Really helps get your attention, gets that callback going, it gets the real excitement going on in the fans. And
Yeah,
so,
for real fans, it's very nostalgic and very exciting to hear those re-put into Star Wars clips and start the Star Wars show. It's really exciting.
all right. Now, would you say now we're gonna get into some spoiler stuff?
Yeah, now let's get talking about the real in-depth story of the episode. So, guys, if you haven't seen the episode yet and you plan on watching it and don't want to get spoiled, click off the video right now. And yeah, we're gonna get started with the spoilers. Al, what do you think?
I thought it was great. Do you want to do like a walkthrough through the episode, basically just list everything that happens?
Yeah, so we'll start with like the beginning. They're Ahsoka and Rex and all the clones. They leave Mandalore with Maul, heading to Coruscant. And when they're heading to Coruscant, Rex and Ahsoka talk. And Ahsoka, meanwhile, they have this meeting with the Jedi Council, and she's kind of like shunned out in the meeting because now she's no longer part of the council. Which is, what do you think about that? I mean, it kind of hurt me, honestly, but it makes sense kind of because she's not part of the council anymore, you know?
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts on that. She said that she was a citizen just helping out the Republic. I thought that was pretty cool, but then uh, Mace Windu steps in. They were about to reveal some information about the Chancellor, and then Mace Windu says, "Oh, you're a citizen. This is Jedi Council matters only." And so she kind of just backs off from that. I thought that was kind of a I didn't really think that that was necessary because they did her wrong in the fifth season, and that's why she left. You know?
Yeah, it's been real like awkward between Ahsoka and all of the Jedi throughout this entire season. I mean, obviously with what happened at the end of season 5 with her getting kicked out and then her rejecting to come back, but I just really feel like they're treating like she's done all of this stuff for them. She basically helped take over Mandalore or get it back from Maul. And even Yoda said himself that she's done a great deed for the Republic, and they still kind of treat her like a normal citizen, like she should not be respected. But I really don't think that's what should happen. But I kind of get where they're coming from.
Yeah. All right. So what happens next in the episode is both Ahsoka and Darth Maul are both on a the Republic ship, and then Rex goes to receive a new briefing from what we thought would be the Chancellor, and then Ahsoka is in the main bay looking out, and they do lightspeed travel. And then it starts coming in. It does a zoom in on Darth Maul's face, which I thought was super cool. And this is
Fantastic.
fantastic. This is where the implementation of voice lines from episode 3 comes in. It does a zoom in on Darth Maul's face. Darth Maul's eyes explode, and you hear a lightsaber go off. And then you start to hear voice lines from the scene of when Anakin, Mace Windu, and the Chancellor are all in the Chancellor's office. Uh, Mace Windu has got Emperor Palpatine laying on the ground in the windowsill. Anakin's just about to, chop off Mace Windu's hand. It plays the voice clip of Chancellor Palpatine saying, "You must choose," and then plays Mace Windu's voice line, and then plays Anakin's voice line of "He must live," he must stand trial. And then it happens, and then both Ahsoka and Darth Maul feel this happen. And then we go into the briefing that Rex is in, and you hear that chilling voice line of Palpatine saying, "Execute Order 66." And then this
Yeah,
is where it starts to get real.
yeah, that was a pretty chilling moment, and the whole like if you're a real Star Wars fan when you're watching it, you can almost feel that is about to happen. You know, you can hear the the quotes as you were saying from Revenge of the Sith, which was extremely awesome. We and you were going pretty we got pretty excited when that happened. And of course, when Order 66 happened, it really made the episode intense, and you can feel the characters' confusion. Like Ahsoka's was extremely confused and kind of upset at what was happening. And yeah, well, I mean, what did you think?
I thought it was amazing. I mean, Ahsoka immediately goes to Rex. She tries to ask him what's wrong. Rex is, obviously going to be struggling. Two clones come up behind Ahsoka, point their blasters at her, and then she starts to figure out what's going on as the clones are turning against her. And then, as you see on the screen right now, this is right on top of the hologram that where Palpatine executed Order 66. She's standing up on there. She's deflecting blasts from every direction, which was a really cool scene, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
then she escapes through a route right above her, and then through there she goes and she rescues Maul from where they have him chained up. She then tells him to go cause some trouble because that's what he's good at. She doesn't give him any lightsabers, which was leads into a really cool scene of Darth Maul just being totally badass.
Yeah, and that scene with Darth Maul, it's absolutely crazy. It's pretty funny because all of the Jedi uh, all have lightsabers and they're getting killed by these clones, and Darth Maul's pretty much left for dead by Ahsoka with no lightsaber, and he's walking through the tire cruiser, just absolutely annihilating these clones without a lightsaber, just using the Force and materials around him to just destroy them. And the scene ends with Darth Maul enclosing a seal door on a clone's arm and basically cutting his arm off and stealing one of their communicators. Was it walkie-talkie thing on his arm? Yeah.
So in the next scene, what happens is Ahsoka meets up with some droids and she talks to them. They're willing to help her with this whole situation with the clones turning on her and trying to find out why it happens. And so she seals herself in the room where the droids are stored. They pull up the file on fives, and then they pull up a video file that Rex made about fives, saying that he knows something's going on. They put the chips in there for a reason, for them to do something. So then she then makes a plan to capture Rex and try and, investigate him, see what this chip is doing, see if she can remove it. So then they trap Rex with blast doors from all directions. Ahsoka appears right behind him. A droid tasers Rex. She brings him to a medical bay, and then that's where stuff gets really good.
Yeah, that's when they start to basically search Rex for the inhibitor chip that's in his brain, while the other clones around them are trying to get in and obviously attack Ahsoka. And Ahsoka does this thing. I never really seen it before, but she like grabs Rex's face because they can't find the inhibitor chip, And what was the quote she said again? I can't remember exactly.
I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me. It's that quote that the guy says from Rogue One.
Yes. So she is grabbing Rex's face and starts saying that quote, and then Rex begins to say the quote while he's under, still in like the electric shock, and they end up finding the inhibitor chip, and then quickly they put Rex into like this almost cat scan type thing, where they remove the chip very quickly. Meanwhile, the other clones manage to break in to the medical bay, and Ahsoka's basically fighting them off, but it looks like she's struggling. And of course, they kind of show these little small clips of like Rex's gun by his side getting lifted, and just as they're about to close the blast door, more clones are coming through, and you just see blaster bolts that go through and hit some of the clones. And you turn around, and Rex is stood up with a little bandage on his head and his gun's up. And Ahsoka doesn't really know what to think of it, and she asks him if he's all right. And of course, the inhibitor chip is out, and he's back to normal Rex. What do you think about that scene?
I thought that was really cool. It was actually really intense because I had a thought. I was like, oh crap! Like it didn't seem like the surgery was happening like in that CAT scan device. So I thought maybe what if he gets the blaster and he turns on Ahsoka again? And when you see the blasters go by, and that was when I knew. I was like, all right, like the chip's out, he's fine. And then that leads into the cliffhanger of the episode where they're discussing, and then they don't know what to do yet as an escape plan. But yeah, it ends right there. And what I think is going to happen in the next episode is obviously you guys know that Rex ends up with two other clone troopers and rebels, and they are just kind of hanging out together as they escape the Republic. So what I'm thinking we're going to see in this next episode is the escape plan of Maul, Rex, and Ahsoka. And I'm kind of thinking that Rex is going to make a whole cover for her, use his make the clones think that he doesn't have the inhibitor chip removed, and he's just going to trick them, get Ahsoka and Maul out of there, and then we're going to see how everyone ends up, how they end up.
Yeah, Rex is probably going to end up covering for Ahsoka, making the other clones that think that she's dead. And Ahsoka's going to end up leaving. Meanwhile, Rex is going to find his way out of the Republic eventually, while kind of staying undercover right now. And I think that'd be a good way to move forward, and it could be another story to tell in the future. But I do think you're right. I think Rex is possibly going to cover for them and help them escape, both Ahsoka and maybe Maul. I don't know what's going to happen with Maul, actually. We know he's going to escape, but the question is how. Is Ahsoka going to help him? Are they going to almost team up? Or is it going to be kind of two solo missions and we watch both stories side by side? That's a good question. And I can't wait to figure it out in the next episode.
But yeah, that was a great episode overall. I think it really adds a lot to the story. We get to see a lot of behind the scenes, how it goes with episode 3. And yeah, it was I really can't wait for the next one cuz that's the last one we're going to have for a
It's
while.
crazy to think that this episode next week is going to be the last episode we get of the Clone Wars. It's
Yeah,
absolutely, but man, are they going out with a bang.
they are going out with a huge
This
bang.
has been a fantastic story arc so far. Best one,
Best
for
one
sure.
for sure. All right, guys. So yeah, tell us what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe if you guys would like. Tell us what you want to see from us next, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.